That same night, Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 maids, and his 11 children, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. He took them and sent them across the stream, and likewise everything that he had. Jacob was left alone. And a man wrestled with him until daybreak. When the man saw that he did not prevail against Jacob, he struck him on the hip socket, and Jacob's hip was put out of joint as he wrestled with him. Then he said, "Let me go, for the day is breaking." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." So he said to him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." Then the man said, "You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. For you have striven with God and with humans and have prevailed." Then Jacob asked him, "Please tell me your name." But he said, "Why is it that you ask my name?" And there he blessed him. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "For I have seen God face to face, and yet my life is preserved." The sun rose upon him as he passed Peniel, limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the Israelites do not eat the thigh muscle that is on the hip socket, because he struck Jacob on the hip socket at the thigh muscle.
O Emmanuel, O Emmanuel, our King and Lawgiver, the desire of nations and their salvation, come and save us, O Lord our God. The painting presents Jacob wrestling with the angel on the banks of the Jabbok. This is no scene of disinterested wrestling. It is a scene of intense struggle. His hair is being pulled, his arm is being wrenched. The exchange is intimate, it is sweaty, it is brutal, it is fierce. Jacob would call the place Peniel, where God was seen face to face and life was preserved. The place was a sign, a figure, of the whole of the Lord's gracious purpose for his people and for all his creatures. The scene at the Jabbok is a fitting description in brief of the God the Bible reveals. For the Bible does not describe or delineate a God of abstract causality, a God indifferent or passive. The Scriptures present to us a living being, someone in whom we are delighted to find our own resemblance. From beginning to end, the Old Testament resounds with this God's roar of rage, his unmitigated refusal to finally accept with finality the transgression of his creation into the throes of destruction and death. It pulses with the Lion of Judah's roar at the dissolution of his creation, his beloved people in sin and death. And the New Testament proclaims his final answer, his victory over all that has transpired, the gracious obliging of his only begotten Son, to suffer everything which Bethlehem and Golgotha bear witness. The Bible reveals, unveils Emmanuel, God with us, God alive, God who breathes, God who rages against evil, God who delights in love, God ferocious, God gracious, God in our sorrow, God in our hope. What is the glory that is being revealed? It is the glory of Christ, God with us. O Emmanuel, come.